Jiro here for Umbra Games with a spoiler-free review of Inside, developed by Playdead, released on PC and Xbox One, but played on Xbox One for this review. Inside is Playdead's second title, a spiritual successor to 2010's Limbo. Similar to Limbo, you take a nameless child through a brilliantly atmospheric yet minimalistic environment on his quest to walk to the right. Spoiler-free means the accompanying gameplay video may be a little bit more boring than usual, but I still wanted to show off some gameplay. Inside's hype has been fairly steady since its announcement a year or so ago, and as E3 2016 picked up, everyone began to get more curious. It started hitting the highly anticipated lists and then was released to extremely high review scores all over the place, with some reviewers that got early review copies stating that the embargo had an additional request to not share any story spoilers. So the build-up finally just got out of control and I had to see for myself just how great this game was. Now, I have a feeling I'm bound to get a bit of hate on this review, but keep in mind I go for objective reviews with no gimmicks, so if you were curious, like I was, on whether or not the game is worth it, this is the review for you. Inside is a puzzle platformer. Use the stick to move, A to jump, and B to grab things to pull or push. You travel through various environments, from farms to factories, using this simple, very responsive control scheme. Inside really puts the emphasis on the logic of its puzzle solving more than the accuracy of its platforming. Most of the puzzles are physical ways of hitting switches or manipulating objects to help you continue moving to the right. A lot of the puzzles were pretty cleverly designed. I'd played this with a friend in the room, and with our combined brain power, there was really only, I think, one puzzle we got stuck on for more than a minute. There is no tutorial for the game and no HUD, which I wish games would do more of. You learn by doing. The one thing Inside did nail absolutely perfectly was the tensity of the atmosphere, as your boy is hunted down by people, dogs, and other creatures. There are moments when a flashlight shines on you from the background and you gain a tangible fear for your little red-shirted avatar. The death animations are pretty gruesome, adding even more to your desire not to get caught and watch the poor child get his throat ripped out or eaten or choked to death. Even though the art style is close to monochromatic, it does have a lot more color than Limbo. Some of the textures provide sudden moments of sharpness that just keep you pulled in. Inside also has some of the best looking water I've seen, as looking up to the surface while under it, as well as seeing the effects of water jets distorting it across light sources, is just phenomenal. The 2.5D approach is a bit off-putting, as sometimes you kind of shift to half D. Say when a crate is in your path, you can walk around it, but holding B will grab it. The perspective itself, though, intentionally or not, obfuscated the path forward on a couple of puzzle solutions. I enjoyed the third act quite a bit, which occurs after the super secretive event that everyone is so hush-hush about, but I don't think it had the impact on me that it did on other reviewers. Like Limbo, Inside's story isn't and probably never will be clarified by the developers, and instead they like to leave it to quote-unquote player interpretation. Now, if you watch my Limbo review, you kind of have a jumpstart on how I feel about this sort of thing. There's this built-in hype of everyone trying to feel smart and attempting to make something out of all the pieces that, for all intents and purposes, could just be the developer making things to make people think there's something there, and is laughing at the internet as they try to paint a rainbow from a monochromatic palette. There's even a secret ending that can be accessed by finding all of a certain collectible, which further adds to the mystery. I've said it before, I'm a sensitive guy, I love talking about philosophy, and I appreciate developers taking an artful attitude towards games, but I don't get into this forced grasping at straws push to get me to use my imagination. Now, I'll be honest, there aren't a whole lot of indie games I spring for brand new, mainly because with Inside there's a $20 price tag, and with how short Limbo was, it had me concerned. I mean, I play a lot of games, I buy for a lot of systems, and what ended up being a 3-hour adventure in Inside just didn't establish a whole lot of value for me. Now, I can understand the need for the price tag though, as Playdead says they've been in development on this since 2010, 6 years. Now, don't get me wrong, Inside is a great puzzle platformer, but I'm just not on the bandwagon of thinking it's Game of the Year worthy. But I would have to say, if you like Limbo, you're probably going to like this. Inside, rated as a puzzle platformer, hits a 64 out of 100 on my puzzle platformer scale, 2 points higher than Limbo. This is Jiro for Umbra Games. Thanks for watching. For more objective reviews, please feel free to subscribe to the channel or follow me at Umbra Games on Twitter.